thanks for joining me today. I'm April Plank. I'm going to be taking you through a jump board class. The props you're going to need are a small stability ball and your box, and of course your jump board. So I'm going to be on 3 red springs. Those are my 3 heavy springs, and let's get ready for some footwork. So let's lie down. As always, you can have your headrest however you'd like it. I'm always going to keep mine down. That's kind of my favorite position, but if you'd like to put yours up, you can. Take that ball, pop it right between your knees. Make sure your feet are completely on the jump board at the very top of the jump board. Your arms are resting along your side. Your tailbone is nice and heavy. Your ribs are drawing in. You're slightly engaging that corset. And let's go. Inhale as you push the carriage out. Exhale as you resist back in. Now, depending on the flexibility in your calves, your heels might possibly lift as you bend the knees. And that's fine. Just when you're pressing out, you want to really be sure to drive those heels back down to get a nice stretch through the calves. One of the best things to do with jumping is to make sure that you're relaxing those heels down between every jump or between every leg press so your calves don't kind of grip and start to overwork. So I'm really focusing on keeping those heels down as I press out and in. Inhaling as you press, exhaling as you pull back in. Do that one more time. Now come halfway in and give me 1-inch pulses. So I'm putting a little pressure on the ball, engaging my inner thighs, starting to pull up a little bit on my pelvic floor. I'm thinking about pulling tight across my hip bones as if I had an airplane seatbelt on, and I'm tightening across that airplane seatbelt. Last 3, 2, and hold the legs still. Now pulse the ball. Just squeeze the ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs out. Now we will lift the heels high, go in and out on the balls of the feet. So exhale as you come in. Inhale as you squeeze and press out. Think almost like you're moving through molasses. So you always want to control the carriage and not let the carriage control you. Exhaling as you come in. Big inhale as you squeeze and press. We'll do that 2 more times. And then again, we're going to stop halfway in, keeping your heels lifted, 1-inch pulses on the balls of the feet. 1 inch out and in. Using that nice percussive Pilates breath. 3, 2, hold the carriage still, squeeze the ball. Squeeze, release. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push all the way out. Lower your heels down. Bend your knees. Lift your heels and press. Lower your heels to pull in. Lift your heels to press. Lower your heels to pull in. So I'm getting a little bit of ankle mobility here. Really important because we're going to be using a lot of ankle mobility as we move through our jumping. So we're going to get that joint warmed up and ready to go. And hopefully you feel with that ball, the inner thighs are working quite a bit. And you're warming up through the legs, maybe even more than if you didn't have the ball. Good. Let's go 1 more in that direction. And then we're going to switch. So keep your heels pressing down as you go out. Lift your heels at the top and then bend your knees. So push the heels and press. Lift the heels and come in. Push the heels and press. Lift the heels and come in. Good. Feels really good on my legs. Inhale as you press and exhale as you pull in. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Come home. Now if your headrest was up, lift it back down. And we're going to put the feet half on, half off. From the tailbone, you're going to lift all the way up into a squeezed bridge. So you're squeezing that ball. And then lower straight back down from the tailbone. So now your headrest is definitely down as we lift the hips up and set them right back down. Exhale as you lift. Inhale right back down. So notice I'm not articulating my spine. I'm just going straight up and straight back down. 3 more to go. And 2. On your next one, you're going to stay up there, press the carriage out, full extension through the legs, pull it back in, lifting the hips even higher. Push and extend out, squeezing as you come in. Inhale as you push, exhale as you come in. Good, hold that ball nice and tight. 2 more to go. This will be your last one. You're going to come all the way in. Now I want you to articulate your back. So see if you can set each vertebrae down, separate of the one beside it. Slow and steady, rolling all the way down and back to neutral with the tailbone heavy. Take that ball, pop it under your right back of the knee. So you're going to hold that ball tight. Your left foot is on in line with your sit bone, and let's start pushing out and in on the left leg. Inhale as you push, exhale as you pull in. Inhale, press, exhale, back in. Now the one prop I forgot to remember to tell you about is a timer. You really don't need to worry about it because I'll be timing. But each of our jump intervals will be a 3-minute interval. Some of the single legs might be a little bit less, or probably actually will be a little less, but I'll keep track of our time. I definitely like to time the jumping. It's just a lot easier than counting repetitions, especially if everyone is jumping at kind of a different cadence. So I always do my jumping on a timer. So I will be using that timer when we get to the jumps. Do 1 more. Now come in. Slide your left foot half on the board, the jump board, and we're going to do the bridging again. So you're going to lift straight up through the hips, right back down, leading from the tailbone. So tailbone lifts up, tailbone lowers down. Now I'm using my right leg and I'm pushing into that ball, activating my back of the right leg, hamstring. Good. 3 more to go here. Definitely feeling my left glute. Hopefully you are as well. Take the next one and hold it. Now let's do a grand finale. Push the carriage out, pull it back in. If this by some chance is too challenging right now, please drop the hips down and just push out and in with your hips on the carriage. I know this is a pretty challenging one to do right off the bat. Good. 3 more to go. 2. This will be your last one. Come all the way home and lower it all the way down. Let's switch the sides. Take the ball, pop it under the back of your left knee. Your right foot is in line with your right sits bone. And here we go. Inhale as you push. Exhale, resist back in. Full extension out. Slow resist back in. Nice work. I'm holding that ball firmly with my left leg. So I'm definitely activating through the back of my left leg here. 2 more to go out and in. And then we'll come all the way home, pop that right foot half on, half off, and bridge up. Straight up from the tailbone, right back down towards the carriage. Lifting straight up, right down. Take a little peek at your hips. Make sure your hips are staying really square. Hopefully your headrest is still down. So remember, anytime we lift our hips, you definitely want your head to be flat. Two more to go. Last one, hold it up there. Push the carriage all the way out. Pull it back in. Press and extend. Resist back in. Doesn't have to be a hugely high bridge to feel the work in the glute. Again, if you feel too much in the back, set your hips down. Good, you've got 2 more to go. Last one here. Good, pull the carriage in, roll yourself down. Take that ball, we're gonna pop it between the knees, give ourselves a little hug. Before we get into the jumping, I just wanna give the back one more little stretch. Bring the legs up into a tabletop so the shins are parallel to the floor, knees in line with your hips. Grab the pegs, and you're going to pull the pegs slightly apart, letting the elbows drop down. Inhale the knees to the right, keeping your left shoulder grounded, and then exhale back up to the center, and then go to the left. Hopefully you're getting a few little good pops in your back. I just got a really good one. Exhale to the center. So as I go to the right, I'm pulling my left shoulder down, feeling that really great stretch, and then exhale to the center. And as I go to the left, I'm pulling my right shoulder down, and then exhaling back to the center. Let's go 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1 more. Ah, good job. Okay, I think we're ready to jump. So let's roll all the way up. All we need to do is change our weight. So let's take it to a red spring and a blue spring. That's for me, 1 heavy, 1 medium. Take everything else off, and let's go ahead and lay all the way down. I'm going to grab my timer, and then I'll meet you on your back. Take that ball, pop it between your knees. Now, if you like the headrest up to jump, please feel free to do that. I'm going to keep mine down. So I'm giving that ball a little bit of squeeze. My tailbone's heavy, my shoulders are down my back, and we're going to start that timer and start our jumps. Inhaling as you jump, exhale as you land. And just take your time. You can start off nice and easy. It doesn't have to be a huge jump. Kind of focusing on all the principles that we did when we warmed up. So we're articulating through the ankle joint, pointing through the feet, landing ball to foot heel, pushing off heel ball to foot. You're thinking of that navel drawing deep, that airplane seatbelt tied across the hip bones, tailbone staying grounded. Every time you jump, see if you can give that ball just a little hug. So a little squeeze. Now, as you guys know, the breath is a tool, not a rule. So sometimes I find myself breathing opposite of what I tell you to breathe. And if you find yourself doing the same thing, just go with it. As long as you're breathing, you're working. You know, we're going to hold the breath. Okay, we're going to add some intensity here. So as you jump, you're going to do a knee tuck. Jump, knees in and out. So we're going to pick up the pace a little. We're right about a minute down, 2 minutes to go. Definitely feel this one burning through the quads, so take your time. If you need to go back to regular jumping at any point, feel free to do so. 2 more of these knee tucks. Now straight leg lifts. So you're going to jump, lift up, back down. Lift up, back down. Doesn't have to be a big lift, just a nice lift up, back to the jump board. The important thing is the landing. Get those legs back down to land. 2 more of those. Let's combine it. 1 knee tuck, 1 leg lift. 1 knee tuck, 1 leg lift. Good. 1 knee tuck, 1 leg lift. You've got 4 more. Keep that breath going. Back to regular jumps. I'm going to set my timer down. You're going to take that ball, grab it, put it in your hands. Regular jumps here. Now I'd like for you to either hold the ball. If you want to work a little more hand-eye coordination, you're going to add a little toss. Good. As you guys know, Pilates works more than just the muscles. It's all about connecting the brain to the body. And anytime we can work on our proprioception, hand-eye coordination, we want to do so. This is a great opportunity here. 4, 3, if you lose your ball, you can keep going without it or take a break and pick it up. 1 more jump, come in, go all the way out, don't jump. We're going to do nice big knees. So you're just lifting 1 knee up, in, back in. So just like those knee tucks we did before, but you're just doing one knee at a time. Landing ball the foot heel, ball the foot heel. Good, keep going. Using my son's phone today, so it locked up on me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way in. All the way out, take a few recovered breaths. My clients always say I'm too honest. I will let you know we did 30 seconds more than I said. I said 3 minutes, we did 3.5, but that's okay. Got a little bonus work. Hopefully it felt good. Let's go all the way out and pick up your straps. So by straps, I like to hang into the floor. And if you can't reach them for some reason, then just take a pause and go and grab your straps. So I'm going to put my straps in my hands and then bring the carriage back in. Now to get into this, I've got both straps in my left hand. I'm going to take my feet to the top of the jump board. I'm going to lift my hips and pop that ball right under my tailbone. So I'm going to hold that ball right at the tailbone. Once I feel secure there, I'll take the straps one in each hand, reach the fingers to the ceiling, lift the legs into that tabletop. Pull your abs in tight. Big exhale as you press the arms down to the sides. Inhale back up. Now I realize with all that jumping, your legs may be tired. So if you need to cross your ankles and pull your knees closer to you, that's going to give you a little bit of a rest. If you don't need a rest and you want it harder, take your right leg, reach it long. Hold it long and low over the jump board. So a lot of options for you to choose from. Choose what works for you today. Every day is different. Big exhales you push. Inhales you release. The next time the arms are to the side, you're going to hold them. If your right leg is extended, bring it in. Extend your left leg. Your arms are going to open out to a T and then pull them back down to the sides. Again, all the same options apply for your legs. You can come to tabletop. You can have your ankles crossed with your knees closer to you, or this is the more challenging with your left leg extended. Right knee is still in line with your hip. Big exhales as you pull. Do one more. Take the hands to the hips and hold. If the left leg is extended, bring it back in. You're going to bend your arms for a tricep. As you straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Bend the arms and knees, straighten the arms and legs. And if you feel this is too much, you always have that modification of tabletop. Big exhales, you press. I like to feel that I'm taking my navel and anchoring it right into that ball underneath me. 2 more to go. 1 more. Now keep your arms straight. If your legs are straight, take the right leg up to the ceiling, left leg long over the jump board. Again, you can keep your tabletop if you need to. We're going to take the arms out to a T, up to the ceiling, down to the sides. Out to a T, up to the ceiling, down to the sides. Keep those legs really strong and long. Use your breath. Two more of these circles in this direction. When you get the hands back to the hips again, you're going to pause. Take your right leg down to meet your left. Bring it back up. Down to meet the left. Sweep it back up. Again, this is a challenging variation, so if you're holding tabletop, that's fine. Three to do, and then we're going to switch sides. And 2, and 1. Take your right leg down, bring your left leg up. So your left leg is to the ceiling, your right leg's over the foot bar, or you're in tabletop. We're going to take the arms up to the ceiling first, out to a T, down to the hips. So the carriage moves when you go up. It stays still as you open. It moves as you push to the hips. Your legs are super duper active, squeezing your muscles in towards your bones, and you're moving nice and controlled through the arms. Good, 2 more to go. Next time your hands are to the hips, let's pause. Take your left leg down to meet your right, sweep it back up. Pull it down to meet the right, and back up. Again, if this is too much, hold your tabletop. Awesome work, you guys. 3, and 2, and 1. Pull both knees into your chest. Go ahead and release, set the feet down. You can throw your straps back into the well. Pop your hips up and off that ball. Let's take the ball and just set it to the side for now. We're gonna go back to another set of jumps. We're still gonna stay on this red spring, blue spring. We haven't changed that weight since we started jumping. So let's bring the feet completely together, and let's go ahead and get started. Inhale as you jump, exhale. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard this time to keep us at 3 minutes. See how long you can make your body. So every time you jump, you're hugging the muscles in. You're sending your legs towards the jump board, sending the crown of the head to the tower. Really long line. Do 1 more jump and then turn the toes out, heels in, jump in your little V position. See if you can squeeze even more now, squeezing the heels, the back of the knees, and your pelvic floor. So you squeeze everything in, release in a deep plie lunge. Two more. Now bring your feet hips distance apart, parallel, and jump here. So your heels are right now in line with your sits bones. It's probably our most powerful position to jump in. We've got the most strength. Do 1 more and then jump in a turnout wide as you can. I have the Jumpus Maximus. So I've got a pretty big jump board here. So I'm using that whole jump board and having my toes at the very far corners of the jump board. 4, 3, 2. Now let's jump on the left leg, right leg, and tabletop. 4, 3, 2. Switch to the right leg, left leg, and tabletop. And then we're going to start from the very beginning. 2 more. So feet together, both feet jump. 4. Now we're going to do 4 of each set. Into your little V, 4 jumps. Into hips distance parallel, 4 jumps. And into that nice big wide V, 4 jumps. Left foot jumps 4 times, right leg and tabletop. Good. Right foot jumps 4 times, left foot and tabletop. 30 seconds to go, you guys. Back to both feet jumping together 2 times. Little V 2 times. Hips distance 2 times. Big V 2 times. Left leg jumps, right leg tabletop 2. Right leg jumps, left leg tabletop 2. Now both feet jump 1. Little V 1. Hips distance 1. Big V 1. Jump left 2. Jump right 2. Go 1 more time through and you're done. Feet together 1. Little V 1. Hips distance 1. Big V 1. Left foot 2. Right foot 2. And land and come home. Nice job. Go all the way out and back in. I did it again. We went 30 seconds over. That's okay. I think today I'm feeling good. Hopefully you are as well. We're going to challenge ourselves with that extra little oomph, that extra little 30 seconds. So right now you're just recovering Little presses out and in, because in a second we're coming up, and I do not want you to come up with your heart rate elevated. So big deep breaths in and out. When you are ready, you may come up. Come up slowly. I have low blood pressure, so I've got to come up pretty slow or I fall right back over. So come up slowly, make sure you feel okay. We're going to take it down to 0 springs. 0 springs on, that means the carriage is going to very easily move out of our way, and we're going to put it all the way over. I'm going to grab my timer because I do not think you want to do a wall squat without me timing it. So we're going to come all the way in, facing your tower. That ball's going to go right onto the jump board, and then you're going to roll kind of down the ball until you're in a wall squat position. Now your feet need to be far enough away from you so that when you go down, ideally you have a 90-degree bend at your knees, and you want your feet in line with your knees, and your knees in line with your hips. Now I might need to be a little higher because it's pretty hard to hold down, but here we go. We're going to take it down and hold it. I do love the ball there. It just helps me get a little more expansion through my chest. I can really push into the ball. I'm trying to drop my tailbone straight down. I'm pushing firmly into my feet. We have 1 wall squat today, so I know you guys can do this. 1 and done. That is what we're doing today. And we are at 25 seconds, and I promised you 30, so we'll go 3, 2, and we're done. Come all the way up. Okay, let's bring that carriage towards you. You can pop the ball between the shoulder blocks, and then your elbows are going to go really close towards the shoulder blocks, and your feet are going to be about hips distance apart for some planking. So we're going to push the carriage out, dropping the hips, finding your plank, and then pull the carriage in, coming back to the pike. Now, if at any point you did that and you hit the back of the frame of the carriage, you need to walk your elbows closer to your shoulder blocks. So you need enough range of motion to go all the way out and all the way back in. Good. Feel that whole spine lengthen out. Energy from the crown of the head to the heels. And then tuck your tail, scoop, and pull it in from the low belly. Do that one more time all the way out. And tuck and scoop and pull it in. Let your carriage go back to rest away from you. Take a quarter turn to the left. You're going to hold on to the foot bar just for some balance. Your feet are hips distance apart. Lift your right leg up, bend your left leg. We're going to lean the elbow down to the jump board, and you're going to lift that right leg out to the side and back down. Out to the side and back down. So we're going to target right here through the outer thigh and glute. A little kind of bar infusion strength series into our jumps today. Good. Try to really isolate, go up and squeeze. 3 more to go. Notice my left knee has a tiny little bend, so I'm not ever locking my joint out. Now take it up and hold it, kick it straight out, pull it back in. So now I'm trying to balance a little cup of water on the outside of my right knee, or I guess the drink of your choice. Water is always my choice, but whatever your choice, you're balancing it right there, don't spill it. Last 4, and 3, and 2, do 1 more, come in and set it down. All right, let's bring that carriage towards us. Our toes are going to swivel tiny little bit so they're at an angle. So our toes are angled off to the left. Our elbows again are close to the shoulder blocks, second round of planks. We're going to push all the way out and then tuck, scoop, and pull it back in. Inhale, finding your plank. Exhale, pulling back in. Use your breath. Does not have to be fast. In fact, the slower and more controlled you go, the more benefit you're going to get. 2 more here. And last one. Good. All right, take that carriage and push it all the way away. Let's turn to face the jump board. You're going to take the right leg back behind you, and it's probably going to be resting on top of the carriage. You can also come down to your elbows or your forearms. Bend your left leg, make sure your hips are square. We're going to do a little tiny lift of that right leg, back down to tap. So a little glute squeeze, back down to tap. It does not have to be big to be mighty. So it's little and mighty, little squeeze and release, little squeeze and release. 4 and 3, 2. You've got one more. Now we're going to bend the knee, and as you do, you're going to round your back and then push the leg straight and take the back to neutral. So you scoop and round, push and extend. Scoop and round, push and extend. Think that you're pushing the leg through molasses, so control the motion, press and extend. 3 to go, 2 to go. 1 more, hold it out there. Take the foot and set it down, pull that carriage towards you and set your knee on the carriage. Take your hands to the wood, bring your left leg up and put that knee on the carriage. Your feet are against your shoulder blocks, your wrists are in line with your shoulders. You're going to let the carriage go back, dropping the hips into a plank from the knees, and then pull the carriage back in, tabletop. So you're going from a plank position, straight line from the crown of the head to the knees, back into a tabletop. If you feel this is too easy, turn your toes under. When you push to your plank, lift your knees. When you come back to tabletop, lower your knees. If that's still too easy, keep your knees lifted the whole time. So back to the plank, into a hover. Back to the plank, into the hover. This is too challenging on your wrist. You might want to get some sticky or grippy pads and place those on the wood. 3 and 2 and 1. Set the knees down, come home. Let's take the hands back to the jump board. We're going to move safely since there's no weight on. Your left foot's going to come forward. You can use the right foot to drive the carriage back. And now your right foot's going to be down, your left foot's going to be up. Hips are square to the floor. I'm going to come to my forearms, squeeze the left leg and lift and lower. Squeeze and lift and lower. Now my carriage, or my reformer, is 18 inches tall, so it's about 4 inches taller than the standard. So my carriage is pretty high. You may be able to get a little bit more range of motion than me. Squeeze and release. Do 1 more. Now hold it up, bend the knee, round your spine, push it back and extend. Bend and round, push and extend. Bend and round, push and extend. Three and 2. 1 more. Hold it back there, set the foot down, find the carriage, start to pull the carriage in so you can set the left knee down. Take your hands to the wood for balance. Bring the right leg up to meet the left, repeating those planks. Feet up against the shoulder blocks, wrists in line with your shoulders. Option 1, tabletop to plank, knees stay down the whole time. Option 2, when you push out to your plank, turn your toes under, lift the knees and lower the knees. Lift the knees and lower the knees. Option 3, keep those knees up the whole time. You got this. Let's go 3 more wherever you are. After your third one, set your knees down if they're lifted. Take your hands to the jump board. Set 1 foot onto the floor. You can let the carriage go all the way back. We're going to take a quarter turn to the right for our other side. So I'm going to hold onto the jump board. I'm going to lean towards it and put my elbow on it. My left leg is going to be slightly bent. I'm going to take it out to the side and back. I guess it's more than slightly bent. It's pretty bent, about a 90-degree bend actually. So I have a little bend. My slight bend is in my right knee, and I'm lifting my left leg up and down. Remember that beverage of choice, we're going to balance it right on the top of that left knee. Here we go, 2 more. Hold it up there, and now balance it and kick out, come in. Kick out, come in. It's like a little isometric hold as you move. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I guess isometric and move don't make sense. Isometric, squeeze the glute, move at the knee. You've got it. Okay, let's bring the carriage in. Turn your toes slightly off to the right angle now. Last set of those planks, put your elbows back onto the carriage. You're in that pike position. You're going to drop your hips down, most of the weight's in your left elbow, and then you're going to pull it back in. I hit the end, so I'm going to scoot my feet closer to my jump board, so I have a little bit more room. I'm going to push out to a plank, tuck, and curl deep from the abdominals. So I'm articulating my spine out, finding a nice neutral spine, and then I'm tucking from my tailbone and rolling my spine back in. You've got this. Good. If you can, give me 3 more. You can always listen to your body. If I'm doing too many reps, take a break. You can always build up over time. This is your last one. Come all the way home. Very carefully, with no springs, step yourself out of there. I'm going to remove my ball and just set it to the side for a moment. We don't need that right now. And then I'm going to put myself on 1 red spring. So we've got a little jump series coming up, and it's going to be with the box. So go ahead and grab your box. The box is going to go in shortwise, right up against the shoulder blocks. I'm going to kneel facing the box. And when I kneel, I'm going to have my right foot on the jump board. My elbows are going to be on the box, and I'm going to get my timer set up, and we're going to jump for a minute on this right side. So when you're ready, you're going to jump out, give yourself a little air time, and then back in. So I'm jumping and extending, pulling back in. Again, I'm keeping my shoulders and hips square to the floor. That's 30 seconds, so add a little glute squeeze. So jump, lift, and back. Jump, lift, and back. $15. Now I know this is a lot of glute. We will be doing a stretch, but we've got a minute. We've got some few more jumps to go before we get our well-deserved stretch. Give me 2 more big jumps. Last one, come home. So like a little mini stretch. You can push your hips back and kind of drop them a little to the right so that you can get that right glute just a tiny release. A bigger stretch is coming, I promise. Come back to the center. Your left foot's going to be doing the jumping. So left foot against the jump board. Here we go. Push it all the way out and in. I'm keeping my chest broad, square hips. So my Pilates box, which is the box you draw from shoulder, shoulder, hip, hip, is straight down to the box. So my box is facing my box. Good. See how long you can make your left leg every time you jump. Okay, that was your 30 seconds, so let's add a little glute squeeze. Jump and lift. Jump and lift. $15 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come in, little mini stretch. Push the hips back, take that left hip and just pop it out to the side. Ooh, it feels good. Alrighty. Okay, before we do another set of those glute jumps, we're going to take another arm work. So we will need the strap. So let's switch it to a blue spring. So one blue on, the red is off. I hope I told you that we were on a red. Sometimes I feel like I forget to do things. So I'm hoping that you knew we were on a red. So your straps are going to go onto your pegs. Now we are on a blue, our medium spring. You're going to come to kneeling on your carriage with your thighs up against the box. Pick up your straps and bring your hands right beside your thighs. Let your shoulders roll down and back. Let your ribs pull in. Slightly tuck your tail under. Reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Big exhale as you pull the arms back. Strong inhale as you release just to your sides. Don't let those arms flail about. You don't want to let the arms go too far forward. This is a very controlled motion, pushing back, coming right to the sides of the hips. Big exhale back. It doesn't even need to be big. It can be a small exhale back. You're going to definitely feel that work in the back of the arms. 2 more to go. Last one. Good. Now cross your straps. Put your elbows right into your waist. We're going to rotate our forearms, punch our knuckles to either side of the room, pull our elbows to the ribs, rotate our forearms again. So you rotate the forearms out, you punch to the corners, pull the elbows in, rotate the forearms back in. Now try not to let anything happen through the spine. No arching, keeping those ribs in, keeping your abs in, tailbone slightly down. That string from the crown of the head is pulling you up. Control the motion. Two more to go. And last one. Good work. Last one here for the back. Let's uncross the straps. I'm going to thread the straps on my forearms. And then I'm going to lift my elbows up as close as I can to shoulder height. And then I'm going to open the arms out into a goalpost and close them. Now I said as close to shoulder height as you can, but if you're one who tends to get a lot of neck tension, then go lower. Doesn't have to be high. You're almost thinking about drawing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together as you open and then slowly releasing. So a lot of us have our overactive traps, which is our upper back, that wants to do all the work. So if that's you, take a little lower. I always said this was the last one, but it's like part A of the last one. Part B of the last one is the final, and then we're going to hold the arms out into the goalpost. Take the arms out to either side of the room with the fingers reaching long. Pulse back an inch, forward an inch. Again, if it's in your neck, take it lower. Just a little pulse back and forward. A little press and release. 4, sit up tall, working your posture. 2 more. Last one, and release. Good job. Let's go ahead and take those straps. Let's put them back on the pegs so we have them handy for one of the things coming up. And we're going to do some jumping on our side. So I'm going to actually lay on my right side. I do need to change my weight, so I'm on a red spring, a heavy spring, and I'm taking my blue off, so I'm left with one red heavy spring. I'm going to lay on my right side. My right hand is going to be on the headrest. My left foot is going to be on the jump board, and my right leg is just resting on the box. I'm going to start jumping on that left leg. Good. And your left hand can be on your hip. The key here is like any sideline work, you're lining up your body with the imaginary wall behind you. So lift your sternum. Think of each shoulder pressing into that wall behind you, each hip pressing into the wall behind you, and even your head. So your head is just a natural extension of the spine. So you're in a long line here. Add a little outer thigh lift. So you're going to jump, do a little lift. Please make sure you come back down before you land. So jump, lift, back down. Jump, lift, back down. 10 seconds. I love these minute jumps. They go really fast, right? Much faster than my not really three, almost 3.5 minute jumps. Good. There's one. Come in. I almost missed our 1 minute. All right, come all the way in. I promised you that really nice juicy stretch, so here it is. So you're going to face your jump board. The leg you just worked, your left leg, you're going to cross it over your right. Oh my goodness. That is definitely tight. So just give yourself a moment. Don't try to over push it. Those muscles were just contracting so tightly, and now we're trying to ask them to release. So give them a chance. Give them a second. If you already feel that you have released, you want to go a little farther, you're going to lean forward. I do not need to lean forward yet, for sure. I'm watching my timer. We're going to hold this for about a minute. Now, if you're rounding your back, you're going to lose quite a bit of the stretch. So lift your sternum, lengthen your back, and hinge forward. So it's not about how far we can get our chest down to our thigh. It's about how long we can make our back. Oh, it feels really good now. Okay, that was a minute. So let's come up. We've got the other side. So we're still on a red spring. We're going to lay on our left side. Our left hand is on the shoulder block. Our right leg is going to jump. Our left leg's just kind of tucked out of the way. And here we go. And if any chance this is like too much on the neck, you can take the box off and just lay on your side and jump. Or you could even come down to your elbow and let your head kind of relax. So that might feel better for you. I'm going to stay up on my hand. Again, you've got a straight line, a straight wall behind you. Your shoulders and hips are stacked up against that wall, as well as the head gently pushing back into the wall. Add your outer thigh lift. So here we go, up and lift and back. Awesome work, everyone. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way in. Second wonderful stretch. Turn to face your jump board. Cross your right leg, this time over your left. Give yourself a second for that muscle to release. Again, we're holding for a minute. Gives you a great opportunity to work on your breathing as well. So you guys probably know if you teach or do Pilates that most during the day we use about 20% of the capacity of our lungs. So I think Pilates is a great opportunity to expand that. So see how big of a breath you can take and how big of an exhale you can take. And you can even visualize sending that breath into your right glute, right outer thigh, and just focusing on that area, relaxing. One more. And then we're going to release. You can uncross the legs. Let's go to a blue spring, taking the red off. So we're on one blue, which is a medium spring. You should have your straps already on your pegs, so reach back and grab your straps. Take your hands right beside your hips. So we're going to do a big circle with the arms. So sit up tall, shoulders down, abs in. Big circle, arms go up and over the head. Turn the palms to the front and reach them out to the sides. I want you to be able to see your hands in your peripheral vision the whole time. So I do not want the arms behind you. So not these huge circles with the arms going back here. Because you have weight on the machine, it's too much to be putting that joint in that position with extra weight. If you want to just do a big stretch of the arms, you can. Just do it without the straps. If that makes sense. You don't want to be going into that hyperextended position with weight. One more in that direction. And then we're going to switch the direction. So you're going to open the arms out, go up to the ceiling, turn the palms up as you release down. Big exhale as you go up, inhale as you lower down. This is our last little strength move. We're going to finish with some feet in straps to give those legs a little stretch, and then you guys are done. I don't know, that seemed like it went really fast. Hopefully you felt the same way. I always feel like jump board classes go really fast. One more, hold it at the top, tricep bend, push and press. Not that I want the workout to go fast, but it is nice to feel you've accomplished a lot and it was fun and it didn't take very long. So hopefully you feel the same. Good, 3, 2, 1 more. You've got it. Circle the arms all the way and put the straps on the pegs. Let's just pop off. We're going to take the box off, and you're done with that. Do you have your ball handy? So we're going to use the ball one more time for the feet and straps. So put a red spring on in addition to the blue. So I'm on 1 red, 1 blue, which is 1 heavy, 1 medium, and I'm going to grab my ball again. So when you're ready, lay down. Remember, your headrest can be up or down, your choice. I'm going to keep mine down. I'm going to put the ball on my belly, grab for the straps, push out, put one foot into the loop, put the weight in that foot, then put the other foot in the loop, put the weight in that foot, kind of equalize my pelvis. I'm going to put the ball right between my ankles, and I'm going to bring my legs into tabletop. So the strap should be kind of right on top of my knees. I'm going to exhale as I push, give that ball a little squeeze. Inhale back to tabletop. Now you've probably heard me, whenever I do my footwork at the end, I make it more about stretching. So traditional tabletop is knees in line with your hips, which is working a neutral pelvis and working stability. I'm going to allow you to bring your knees a little closer, tuck the tailbone and get a stretch in the back, and then push from there. So it's just 2 different ways of doing the exercise. We're definitely warmed up. Everything's definitely looser. So let's just give ourselves a little stretch, go a little deeper, and then push. And anything that stretches my low back, I'm a big fan of. Okay, one more. Keep the legs straight. Turn the toes out, and I'm going to actually readjust my ball to the heels. So I've got the heels pushing into the ball. My legs as big of a turnout as I can do, and I'm going to lift up just to the point where my tailbone stays down, and I'm going to lower just to the point where my ribs stay connected and I'm not arching my back. So I'm lifting up, keeping the tailbone down, and then I'm squeezing the ball slightly as I lower the legs. So if there was a mirror on the ceiling, it would look like nothing was happening from the head to the hips. I'm trying to maintain a nice stable position as I just move the legs. One more. When the legs come back to the ceiling, let's turn the toes back to neutral. Again, I'm going to readjust the ball between my ankles. The legs are going to go straight to the ceiling, my tailbone's down. Up an imaginary wall, I'm going to take the legs straight up. So I'm going to round my back and start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. So it's a kind of a delicate balance between the feet going too far to the tower and too far to the jump board. I'm trying to go straight up and hold that, and then I'm going to roll it down, massaging my back and coming back to neutral. So I've got to push enough into the straps that my carriage doesn't move, but not so much into the straps that I move my carriage. And I've got to push enough that the carriage doesn't pull my feet to the tower. So if you're not pushing enough, your feet are going to go more over your face, and you want your feet right over your hips. And you're going to definitely feel the back of the legs. I know I said we were stretching, but can't resist this one, right? Exhale as you lift up. Inhale as you lower down. Stretch is coming. We've got our feet Doing circles next after this one. And down. Good. Bend your knees. Take the ball. You're done with it. You can set it to the side. Let's do a little frog position for a second, because that always feels nice after holding that ball. And then we will finish with our leg circles. And then take the legs up to the ceiling. Give those straps a little pull. Flex your feet, stretching the hamstrings. And then we're going to take the tailbone back down, arms to the sides. You're going to take the legs all the way down the middle, open out and around, all the way up to the top, and do that again. So it's a big pull as you exhale, circle out and around, all the way up and back to the middle. We're going to do 6, just really solid repetitions, focusing on quality of movement, taking your time, finding a range of motion that feels good. After your 6th one, when you get to the top, you're going to reverse the direction and just take it into 6 more. So you're going to go open, pull down and together, and then back up the middle. And you'll open, pull down and together, and back up the middle. So on my list of classes to work on, I'm working on another stretching class, a request for that, a mat class using the loops, the circle tubing. And if there's anything else you'd like, let me know. I'll put that on the list. Those are the 2 that I'm currently working on. Okay, after your 6th one, we're going to pull the knees into the chest and then take the feet out of the straps. I'm just going to put the straps on the floor, pull the knees into the chest, and then just rock over to the side. So let's rock over to either side. Take the blue spring off, so we're left with 1 red, which is a heavy. Put your right knee on, so I'm on the left side of the carriage. My right knee is going to go on the carriage. I'm going to push the carriage back and take it into a nice ease lunge. So relaxing your shoulders. You may want to come down to the elbows and lean forward a little bit. You may want to stay upright and get a deeper abdominal stretch. Wherever you are, take a few big breaths. And then bring it up. Okay, other side. I like to just scoot over by the end of the workout. I don't want to take the long way around. So I'm going to have my right foot on the floor and my left knee on the carriage. I'm going to come all the way back. I'm slightly tucking my tailbone. You might want to drop to the forearms if that feels better for you. Taking those long, deep breaths. And bring it on home, and you made it. Awesome work as usual. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you another time really soon. Have a great day.